in the 1st District, but we are going to take a call because I do see the phone lines lit up. Okay, let's take that first call. Are you ready, Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, caller, go ahead.
Hey, Ken.
Yes, Ken Krawchuk here from the Libertarian Party.
How you doing, Ken? For those of you that don't know, our brothers in arms over in Pennsylvania have had some problems. They have a much harder time getting on the ballot, first off, than we do here in New Jersey, getting 100 signatures. You guys have to get an awful lot more than that, don't you, Ken?
That's right. This year the number is 19,082.
Wow, that's a big number. Hey, Ken, this is Fred Bueller. So I'm to understand that you guys, just so anyone who's listening kind of gets set up and knows what we're about to tell them, which is just, when I heard it, it just kind of blew me away. But there's a ballot access challenge going on right now. Is that?
Well, that's an understatement. There are dozens of ballot access going on. The Democrats and Republicans have challenged the petitions of every single third-party candidate in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Libertarians, Greens, Tea Party, Independent. There are more challenges going on right now than even I can tell you.
Wow.
Dozens is probably a good number.
And they're challenging because?
Well, for specious reasons. For example, if your name is Frederick and you signed it Fred, then they're going to say, oh, that's bad.
Okay.
If you use ditto marks instead of writing your address, for example, husband and wife sign, they say, oh, that's bad. If the name that you write is not exactly spelled the way it's spelled on the voter registration, they say that's bad. As I said, specious reasons. They're just making things up.
They're nitpicking, basically.
You know, it's difficult to hear you guys. You're echoing in the background there.
Okay, well, let's see if we can get the switchboard turned up a little bit. But so basically, what's happening, Kevin, is they're basically just saying, whatever. If it's just missing a dot, that they just want to get you off there so that they don't have any challengers.
Exactly, and there's also a bigger penalty on top if your petition is challenged. Isn't that correct, Ken?
Oh yeah, it's a huge problem. In 2004, Ralph Nader's petitions were challenged, and he was thrown off the ballot. And adding insult to injury, they fined him $81,000.
Wow, that's a lot of money. 81. You said 81,000. I want to make sure I heard that right.
Then the same thing happened again in 2006 with the Green Party candidate Carl Romanelli. They kicked him off the ballot and fined him $80,000. Now, I've run for governor of Pennsylvania twice now. I'm telling you, I will not run again because I can't afford an $80,000 fine.
No.
If my wife will divorce me, I'll lose my house.
Yeah.
Now,
It was to knock out the challengers. In my case, that succeeded. I can't afford it.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, just that alone is an institutional device set up to make sure that there isn't any other voices heard.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that the people don't realize that because that doesn't make headlines. I mean, it's obvious that there are many people out there listening, in our 15-mile, 20-mile radius that don't know that. I mean, I certainly didn't realize that the price tag the fine was $81,000. That's more than most people's income.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
I mean, and just to be kicked off for something silly, something that's like ridiculous, really.
Because somebody else maybe couldn't sign it properly. I mean, I remember on my petitions, I had people putting their address in the wrong spot and, stuff like that. You had to scribble it out, and some people have a hard time filling out their name and address. And for that, they're kicking these guys off the ballot.
So what are you guys doing about this? I mean, what's the next move here?
Well, we're doing two different things about it. One is on the legal front, and the other is on the public opinion front. On the legal front, we put together a team of volunteers from the Libertarian Party to go over every single challenged signature. There are 13,000 of them that they say these people are not registered voters. So we have our volunteers going through the state database, looking up one at a time, all 13,000 of them. And if we find them out there, then of course that signature is kept and it's counted. But it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And if somebody wants to help, they can call 1-800-RRIGHTS, R-Rights, 1-800-R-Rights.
And I suggest that everybody who is listening, if you know somebody or if you're interested yourself, give that phone number a call. Let's get this together. I mean, these are our rights that are being infringed upon, based on, two political parties or whoever it is, based on, it's based on them just wanting to knock the other person out of the ring.
It is both political parties. There are Democrats and Republicans behind each of the challenges. They're just stifling the competition.
It's amazing. We just set up a democracy in Iraq that has 13 political parties, maybe standard political parties, and here we have two, and they want to keep it that way. They're not letting us have any more.
Yep. And last year or the year before, when you guys had your governor election in New Jersey, you had something like 30 or 40 governor candidates on the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are lucky, because over here, the judges have overturned our overtures to have the ballot laws changed, saying they're afraid of ballot clutter because it will confuse the voters.
Yeah. Well, you know, guess what? I mean, I wouldn't use the word lucky and New Jersey in the same sentence because there's just to put it that way. Did you have something that you wanted to?
Yeah, Ken, we have here in the studio tonight a guy that I believe you know, Mark Haycock from the Green Party.
I know Mark very well. I just saw him a couple of weeks ago. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Ken. How about yourself?
Everything's going terrible here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Ken, are you telling me that neither the Democrat nor the Republican Party of Pennsylvania is in favor of a real democracy?
That's right. Democracy here in Pennsylvania is a scam. Afraid of the competition. And our Constitution says all elections shall be free and equal. That's another thing I didn't even mention, is that we needed 19,000 signatures for their governor candidate to get on the ballot, a Democrat or Republican. They only need 2,000 signatures.
Right.
Wow.
Is that equal?
That seems pretty unfair.
Now, all this stuff has been challenged in the state courts, right?
Well, it's been done in both state and federal courts. In fact, I personally signed on to a challenge to have the different signature requirements overturned. In 2006, it was 67,000 signatures. Oh my God. I was going to run for U.S. Senate, but I can't collect 67,000 signatures.
That is a lot of signatures. I mean, you know, you would need a massive campaign army essentially to go out and get those signatures, and they would have to all be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. When I ran for governor in 2002, I collected 32,400 signatures, myself and my volunteers. It was, and it remains, the most difficult thing I have ever done in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's overwhelming, and it's quite clear. I mean, it's quite clear that the two, the Republican and Democrat parties, are simply just trying to squeeze out and remain in control. And you know what? I have to say that because they're doing so much to squeeze out, it's obvious that they know that there's change in sight, that there is another surge or another, let's not surge, the realization that they are doing bad things, and the public now knows that too.
Yeah, they're starting to fear us a little bit.
They're starting to fear.
Why they're leaning so heavy.
Yeah, and that's why they're leaning. Yeah, just like anything else. I mean, they are certainly leaning as much as they can, and I still think they will be defeated at some point, at some time, and we'll all be very, very happy, especially because our rights will be now in place.
Yep. Now, Ken, before you guys even got to this point, when you first started collecting signatures, you guys put out a challenge to the Republican and Democrat incumbents, didn't you?
We did. We asked them if they would just not use the power of government to beat each other up and to beat us up. But, of course, we see how that turned out. Even Joe Sestak, he personally has signed on to a challenge. So here's a guy who wants to run for U.S. Senate, a guy who's sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution, who's afraid of the competition. I just don't understand it. So that's why we're doing this two-pronged attack. As I mentioned, the first one is the legal front, and the second one is on the public opinion front. Yesterday, we held 4 different rallies in 4 different places in front of the homes of 4 of the challengers, these people who filed the papers to kick people off the ballot. And one of them was Joe Sestak. We were visiting Joe's home yesterday, calling him out, asking him if he would please change his mind.
And did anything result from that?
Not yet. Got some good media coverage. Channel 10 was out there, the Philadelphia NBC affiliate. City Paper also interviewed us, Philadelphia City Paper. You people are there. And there's still more. The the Bucks County Courier-Times has done an editorial coming out in favor of stopping these ridiculous challenges. Now, we have a law out there. It's not a law, it's a bill. It's called the Voters' Choice Act in the Pennsylvania Senate, Senate Bill 252. We've already got 9 co-sponsors, and what will that do is that will level the playing field for third parties in Pennsylvania. But it's languishing. It's been there for about a year.
Right. Ken, what is those phone numbers again? If somebody wants to jump on board, give you guys a hand counting that 13,000, counting those votes, those voters. Well, can you give the numbers again for us?
I sure can. It's 1-800-R-RIGHTS. The letter R, the word rights. 1-800-RRIGHTS. Don't have what numbers are. I'm not that good.
No, that's okay. Yeah, we want everybody to just jump on board and give you as much support as we can. And Kevin, did you have any other questions for Ken?
Well, just keep us in touch and let us know how how things are going, so that we can make sure everybody is behind you and has the support. Because really, we don't use Lucky and New Jersey in the same sense too often, but this is one